like in the previous assignment, you'll need to download the documents from the task in Managebox, which you should be on the task if you're watching this video. These are the two documents that you should see. These are the ones that are attached to the bottom. You'll need both of them, just like in the previous task. So here we have some instructions, and we have some different squares here, which should feel somewhat similar to previous. And then here we have a document that we'll actually be using them with. So this is set up a little differently from last time, right? Last time we just had quadrants, and you just dropped them into there, right? And it was just sort of a figure out, the order or where the different steps go, right? The order of the steps didn't really matter. You just had to kind of figure out where they went. In this one, the order of the steps matter, and where they go, well, I'll get to that. So you have a link here in this video on YouTube. There is a guy here named Cliff who apparently he cooks things, right? But he doesn't just show you like the fancy, like everything's all polished out and he's figured everything out already. He sort of goes along with it, and so you sort of get to see some of his process, including sometimes where things go wrong. And that's much more realistic to real life. When we do things, most of the time everything isn't completely perfect, right? So in the video, he's going to try to make a giant soup dumpling. So the first thing you need to do is you need to watch the video, and as he's doing some of these steps, pause it and kind of figure out what order they go in. So you'll need to look over these and kind of pay attention to these as he's going through to match the order, right? He does all of these in this video. So to make this task, I watched the video, and every once in a while, after he does something, I would pause it and write it down. Now, not everything in the video is here because that would be way more than 9, but I just chose 9 that I felt were pretty decent and worked decently with here. So what you can do is essentially like before, you can Command-C, click on a square, Command-C, and then paste it over here. So we're going across this way. So whenever you find out which one he does first, go ahead and grab it, and you can paste it in. And I'm not paying attention to which one, so don't assume that I'm right. And then, you could delete it if you want. That makes it a little bit easier. And then when he does the second one or whatever, you can grab it and paste it in. And that's kind of the goal. You're going to go through here, and you're going to remove all of them from here and put them in the order across here. We could also do Command-X instead of Command-C. Command-X is cut. The only problem is if you do Command-X instead and then you accidentally do it on a different one, then you lose it. So we're just pasting them in. Once again, order matters, so make sure that you are paying attention to what order they go in and what order he's doing them throughout the video. So this is essentially part 1, putting them in the right order from the video. All right, accidentally grabbed too much and then did Command-Z to undo. All right, and last one. So let's just pretend that this is the order that he goes in, right? I didn't pay any attention to which ones I was putting where, so don't use this order. You need to pay attention to the video and go along with it. Now, once you have them in the order, now you can start thinking about which of these steps he's doing for each one. Now, sort of an idealized discussion of the design cycle. We talk about how you start here, and you go here, and then creating, and then finally evaluating, right? That's sort of like the simple, like everything goes perfectly. But in real life, that's not often how it works, right? Sometimes people skip a step and they have to come back and redo something, or they thought they had done it well, and then they try it and it doesn't work out so well, so they have to go back. So you're going to go back and forth in different orders. It's not going to be like, the first one's all green, and the second one's all, or the first one's all blue, and the second one's all green, and then the purple, and then the orange. It's going to mix around a little bit. So read the different steps that he went through and think about where it goes in here. Once you've decided where one of them is, what we're going to do is we're going to change the line color. So last time we changed the fill, but that makes it a little bit hard to read. So instead, let's change the line color. So I can click on this, and I can click on the little tool here, and I can say, oh, I think the first one is inquiring, analyzing, right? So now I have blue there. Then I can click on the next one, click this, and I can say, oh, I think this one is developing ideas because it's next, right? And then I can click on the next one, and I can do that for each one of these. All right, so that's what I want you to do for these, right? And then, to make it just a little bit easier to kind of see and to play with a few more tools, I also want you to use the draw with pen. And this is sort of a vector type pen-ish, right? So from here, I can say that if this is blue, then, right, and I can hold down, right, to make sort of a curve, right? So that's going to be, oh, there we go. Right, that's going to be this blue. Double click to stop it. I can click off. I can re-click it. Then I can make this color also match. Now I don't like the way it's like separating this, so I'm going to click on here. I'm going to go to arrange and I'm going to go to none. Right, so that fixes that. Now this one here, I can draw with pen. I can click and I can click and click and double click there. There we go. So now this is finished, right? And this one is going to be that green color. So I go to Style, click the color there, and make it green. Right? Now once again, it's doing this weird thing where it's gotten rid of everything else. So I need to click on it, go to Arrange, and None. There we go. That's better. This one is also green, so I can add another one. And that's just what I'm going to do. Now keep in mind, like I said before, I didn't pay attention to what these said. I'm just randomly putting them on here to show you how to do it, right? So you'll need to actually read, and you'll need to make sure that they match where they actually go. I'm just demonstrating so that way you know how to use the tools. All right, so once you're done with this, then of course, save it, right? And then you can upload it to the ManageBlock task just like you did the one the other day. And that's it. That's how you do this.